legitimate, like knock on doors, hardcore sales. And he was talking about a month end for him. And he said, I told my boss, right? Because he has a boss, not a coach. I told my boss that I didn't know where I was going to get my last sale, right? I don't know. I don't really have a sale lined up for the end of the month. And, he said, no offense, but you know what my boss said? He goes, hey, man, no offense, but let me ask you a question. If your mom was dying and all you had to do was get one sale to pay for whatever she needed to save her life, would you get it? He goes, absolutely. And he got the sale. He got the sale. So when Shay says size it up, right? You got to figure out what your goal. I got to retire at 35. I want to be financially independent by 35. So all my friends, they're like, you work too much. I want to hear that. Thank you for telling me that. I work too much compared to you. Yes, because you're still going to be 60 years old, having to work. I'm going to be enjoying life, being able to be on Zoom by that time, choosing to work, running a virtual fast start meeting somewhere, somehow, maybe talking on the company trip. You know what I mean? I don't know. But fortune is in the follow-up, guys. None of this stuff builds up unless you have a inventory list of follow-up. So let me show you mine, okay? So this is, if I go on my sheets and I go to my referrals. So I'm part of me, I'm a structured person too, not just an A, but I color coordinate everything, right? So some of the people I took off already, but this is relatively new. I made some adjustments where most of the names are in black. The people in black I haven't met with yet. The people in green I either met with and I wasn't able to close them at that time and we got to follow up, but green means follow up. Or maybe I never booked them and they said, call me later in the future, right? So I got some follow-ups to do. Then I got some purples, which are no call, no shows, right? Their first meeting with me. Then I got some blues that I booked. Oh, this should be red because I closed that. So the reds are closes, right? And so this is my list of referrals alone, but I color coordinate. So I'm not going crazy trying to figure out, on a whole list of inventory, who I still need to call. And, you're just more organized. So that way I can hone in visually exactly back to back who I need to call. Because how many times do we sit on the phone and we're like scrolling, trying to figure out, wasting time thinking like, did I talk to this person yet or not? What happened? No, if you get organized like that, your follow-up system is going to be even more refined. Trust me. And you'll be able to follow up in a more structured way. That way you can just go back to back in calls, back to back, back to back, back to back. Sometimes the teammates that said not right now, I mean, I've done multiple follow-ups where when they say, hey, listen, maybe 2 months down the road, I'll be more ready. And I've tried to hard close them over Zoom and I threw 3 times, the bait and they didn't bite. So, I got to put them on a follow-up 2 months later. I got a couple follow-ups in May right now that are on my calendar for a specific date. So on that day, in case I feel like there's no one I, can call off the top of my head, then I can just go to my calendar and it says follow up with this person from this person's list, right? Sponsor someone teammate. If somebody doesn't have, and Shay, I know you put this on, but correct me if I'm wrong. If somebody doesn't have the 124, take them on 3 appointments, or whatever your standard is. And if somebody doesn't have the 124, I still try to get the 124 because people have it. They just, they may not have it in their bank account, but they can get it. Trust me. So, because I could get it. I didn't have the 124 either. I got it. And I'm not going to tell everybody to borrow money, but that's what I did. And that's why I can get the 124 from somebody. But if somebody doesn't legitimately, have a easy way or simple way to get the 124, just be like, hey, listen, if you're serious, I'll train you. But you can get licensed on one condition. You take me on 3 appointments or whatever number you want. And as long as you take me on 3 qualified appointments, right? You're not going to get credit for them, but I will pay your 124. I will make sure that we sponsor your 124 for you, right? And then carrybacks you've missed closes. Maybe some carrybacks, they never showed up. Maybe I had a carryback where her mother had COVID and she never called me back and she never followed up with me. I called her twice. She didn't call me back. A month later, I called her, boom, close, right? And so missed closes, increases, these are big, guys. With the way that the world is working, obviously with COVID and anything else that can happen, God forbid, tomorrow, when I call our clients, especially those that don't have at least 300,000, those that could only do 100,000, 150,000, and maybe they were scared of needles, right? I call and say, hey, listen, due to COVID, our company is having an incentive. So if you're able to, if you want to go ahead and increase your coverage, you may be eligible, right? I got this actually from Snake Farm. Listen, if companies are good at selling lies, we got to be better at selling the truth. Okay. So I say, hey, listen, Mr. and Mrs. Client, I have really great news. I just wanted to follow up with you. How's the family doing? Hey, I was looking at our database because I usually follow up with clients during this time frame every quarter. And it looks like you still have only $150,000. I know at the time that was in your budget, but most of the families that I'm following up with right now, they're looking to see if they could be eligible for an increase up to a maximum without any medical tests done. So you may be eligible for an increase up to 300,000 without any medical test done. Would you like to see how much it would be per month? Right? How much extra would you be able to afford? Let me see what your options can be. Right? And then I've gotten a couple of increases, like the $60 increase, $50 increase, spouse so riders. Some people get divorced, right? Old clients that fell off over a year ago become a new app now. So listen, I'm going to repeat it again. Old clients that fell off over a year ago. Maybe they fell off. Maybe they got an old new number. Maybe you emailed them and finally you got back with them. They have been out of the system for over a year. You can write them back up and get them coverage. It's not about just getting the premium bonus or the premium recognition, because if you don't follow up with them, who will? Think about it. Okay. Leverage having a team. Huddle up. Who are your team players? I know who my team players. I feel so lucky. Shaq and Aaron took me to dinner last night for my birthday. I mean, I was just posting, braggadociously. I was like, yeah, I want everybody to be jealous right now. When's the last time they took anybody to dinner, right? For the birthday. But no, but I was talking to Shaq and Shaq was like, hey, who are your players? I was like, it's so crazy because I started this drill for skill, Shay, 90-day drill for skill for the people under district and for the people district and above. And the standard is you can't come 1 minute late or else you're out. You can't come back in. You're 1 minute late, you're out. I lock you right out. And you're not coming back in. I'm taking you off the thread. And if your video's off, you're out. There's no video off. You got to be 100% stationary, paying attention, and you can't skip either. Unless you're dead, you can't skip. Because you know why? If I didn't show up to training, what would you guys think about me? You wouldn't think Jen just skipped. You would think Jen's dead, right? Like, oh, God forbid. But you would think I'm literally like something is wrong, like I'm in the hospital, right? You would think that. But my teammates think that too about me. That's why, if your teammates don't think that about you, you can't have those team players, right? But I know who our team, I know Cheryl's a team player. I know Miss Caroline's a team player. I know Joey's a team player. I know Val's a team player. I know I can lean on these guys and be like, yo, what you got for month end? But the other people, if you know that they're not there yet, it actually helps you mentally not to hone in so much on them. You can still throw it at them, but it helps you mentally not be upset with those people, okay? Because they're not there yet. Jim Coker said, don't be mad at, what you said to them but be more upset with the fact that you thought they were ready to take your coaching at that time, right? And it wasn't in those exact words, but don't be upset with what you said to them or what they said back to you. Be more upset with yourself for thinking they were ready to hear it from you. They just weren't ready, right? So your team players are the people you want to hone in on. 20% of your team are your team players. 20%. Become the right month-end closer and duplicate. This is so important, guys, because when you go into month-end mode, and I love it when our newest teammates got QAs with me, and they're like, I literally on month-end morning, I say, good morning, team. And then right after I text another text and I go, hey, by the way, FYI, today's month end, if you need anything, if you have a close immediately to close or an IBA immediately to close, you can call me. Otherwise, just text me, please. And then for the newest teammates, I verbally tell them, listen, Donald, I don't want to come off like I'm rude and rush you out the phone. I'm just really focused on getting us to the next level so that Shaq can count on us to hit the team numbers that he wants us to hit. Okay. So I just want to make sure that if you call me, just know that I'm going to be asking you, who are you recruiting at that moment and who are you closing at that moment? If it's none of that, just text me because I don't want to sound like I'm rude and rushing you off the phone. Just know it's not like that. Okay. I'm just very focused. And if you want part of the team, you want to be part of that, then let me teach you how to, and let's book it out for the last day. Okay. And you know what? Tasha, they've seen me on month end, Shay, and they're like, whoa, this is actually kind of fun. Like they're seeing us scramble, the right people, they respond the right way. They don't feel the pressure in a bad way. Shay?
That's so good, Jen. You dropping some straight gems right now. That right there, that spreadsheet, Gabby, that's gonna be you. See, I'm so Flintstone. I got paper over here, circles, stars, highlighted. That you just really dropped some gems just now, Jen. That's really, really good. And that's why you're the type of player you are. And that's why Shaq took you out to dinner for your birthday. And that's why you're going to become $100,000 power builder earner in the base shop, because you are extremely coachable, if not the most coachable. I say this all the time in the hierarchy. You take constructive criticism as if it's power, you use it and you go to the next level, right? And that is the reason why you have so many players on your team, because of the way that you are, right? I say this probably every daggum training, because the more I hear you, the more I see why. And I hope my teammates are getting this, because it's so important that, because sometimes you can't be a prophet in your own land. I know what T and I were to the base shop, right? But for me to be able to talk about someone else who's actually in the base shop right now and leading from the front the way that you are is incredible. Your warm market, heart to heart, it's not the presentation. I love this, right? Because so many times we go through the presentation and we're spurring out words, right? You've got to be transparent when you're recruiting people or protecting them. It's so important, you all. It's not always the presentation, it's what you're saying to them, how you're saying it. That's so important. I had to learn that because I'm an A. I had to learn, how to speak to people, because I do like being transparent, but sometimes people may take it the wrong way, right? So have that heart to heart when you're recruiting people. What's the worst that can happen? You'll be in the same place that you are right now, just giving it a shot, right? This is in your warm market. All of us have people in our warm market that we can go back to and get them on our team. I know 3 off the back that I'm thinking about right now that I'm hopeful that I can get, so I can get this daggum iPad. You see what I'm saying? I'm looking at different things that I need to do, right, to get to the Power Builder ring and also win the trip and also get the iPad. So there are so many fronts moving to motivate me to, move faster, quicker, faster, quicker. Warm market is always the best. Recruit the client. The first slide, you all. I love the first slide. And for those of you that are in training with me or have trained with me, excitement. This is where I drop those seeds. I'm letting them know, right? Excitement. I'm going to be asking for referrals, right? You get excited enough, you see that this information is valuable. I want to earn your business, right? And if you or you happen to know of anyone that's looking for an opportunity, this is it right here. You lay it all on the line right here. So you've already planted that seed. They're already open and knowing what you're going to do. And by this time, they should have a energy from you, because you've built it up when you've spoken to them, when you set the appointment, and then before you started going into the presentation, right? So excitement, value, partnership. This is when the curtains open. This is when you let them know this is what it is. That first slide is so important because they already know what we're doing, right? There's no smoke screen. No. Referrals, get you as a client, and possibly recruit you on our team. And like Jen just said, or you're going to give me people that I can recruit. Either way, that's incredible. Protect the client. This is big. Clients are 50% recruited. These two go hand in hand, right? I was telling our teammates, a lot of the times when people come into Primerica, they separate it all. I got to recruit, and then I got to go on appointments, and then I got to get licensed. And then no. They all go hand in hand. You got to move all fronts forward. Recruits should lead to appointments. While you're recruiting and you're training and going on appointments, you should be studying to get your license. And all of these things are moving so you can get promoted to the next level and you can make money, right? So protecting the client, they're 50% in. Although T was prospected, when Shaq sat with us and did the appointment, that's what did it. It wasn't the prospect. It wasn't what Sheila was saying about the opportunity. It was what we saw and how we got educated. I'm like, whoa, wait, what? I went to Howard University. I ain't learned none of this. Nothing. We make money. Like, what? Live below your means. Investing, whole life versus term, Gerber Life on the Sun, nothing on my husband. It was incredible. So when you go through this and you share this information and you educate clients and you protect them, it's a little easier to recruit them. Join our team. You'd be incredible. You understand exactly what it is we do. How important is it? Right? People are dying. We're in a pandemic. People are dying every day. The numbers are alarming. I'm pretty sure we all know someone who has passed away from COVID, right? I just got a story this weekend that I didn't even know about. My stepsister's son, his dad caught COVID, gave it to his mom, and the mom passed away 2 weeks later. No insurance. He survived it, gave it to his mom. Mom dies. Come on, y'all. The insurance is important. It's important to protect, right? No matter what, because we're all going to go. We just don't know when. We know our birthday. We don't know our death date, right? We know that. So we got to make sure people are protected. And when you protect your clients and you recruit them, they understand because they get the message. They're on the crusade. Throw the opportunity seed. This is big. The opportunity seed during the presentation, throughout the presentation, not just the first slide, but throughout the presentation, right? Recruiting the clients is big. You heard, one of my favorites, Eric Davis, he said he was watching the Laker game when Tanya Poe came in and he asked her, how much did you just make? She said $673. Boop, Laker game goes off. Clients recruit $1 million a year in 10 years. Come on. She protected him, then she recruited him, then he got to $1 million in 10 years. His first month license, he made $4,000. Are you kidding me? Recruit your clients. You'll get a crusader. You'll get someone who will come in and make it happen, right? And all she did was do the presentation. All she did was educate him. All she did was go over that comp. That comp is huge. There's people like, wait, hold on. You made $400. You made $300. You made $700. And you only been here like an hour. It takes me 4 or 5 days a week to make that. And sometimes it takes them 2 weeks to make that. So that's big, you all. So it's a mindset when you're on the appointment. And like I said, this is for myself as well, because I've got to do a better job. I know it. Now I got to make sure that I'm doing it more. It's so important. Jen?
Yeah, and I'm so excited I'm learning how to recruit clients more in the field. And instead of just recruiting cold recruits or just people that are non-qualified like me, I want a me, but I want a me with the mentality me I have now, but in a qualified person. If I could mix those two, that would be awesome. If I could have a Sheila, qualified Sheila, right? And a Shay Felton, right? And have my brain still the way that I'm self-developed now. Oh my God. Like, I don't know if I had 10 of those. Listen, the way these questions Shay put on here, but this is the same way that I asked too. I just recruited a client, Destiny. She became a client on Monday. So she was actually a follow-up call. She was referred by an old recruit that, kind of disappeared along the way and has yet to really be organized enough to come back and study, but she referred a client. And I never called the client because I forgot about her. I didn't put her on my list. See, organization, right? I didn't put her on my list. So when I was scrolling on Virtual Office, that's why you should be on Virtual Office. I'm scrolling on Virtual Office on my phone, and I'm like, oh, Destiny. Oh, I did say I was going to call her, didn't I? I never called her. Dang, I did, and I met her in person too. At my client's job because they work together. And I called her. I'm like, hey, what's the worst that could happen? She could be like, not right now, right? Because I know how the job is. I know they're not treating her right. So I called him like, hey, listen, I really didn't use a script, guys, because I already used the script before. So I didn't have to repeat myself, but I called, I was like, hey, Destiny, this is Jen, Janice's financial advisor. I just met with her yesterday and she actually reminded me to give you a call because she said that you would have benefited from sitting down with me and learning more for your family as far as financial education. Do you remember anything that Janice spoke to you about? She's like, yeah, I think it was life insurance, right? I go, listen, yeah, we touch on a lot of things, but I definitely want to still set up a time to meet since we couldn't catch each other before. What's better for you, Monday or Tuesday? Just shot my shot. She said, oh yeah, let's do Monday. Monday, 5 o'clock. She forgets for a meeting. I call her. She gets on 10 minutes late. Close. She gives me 5 referrals. And I throw the opportunity. I go, Destiny, you would be so good working with us. She goes, what? Really? I am kind of looking for something else better. And I'm like, well, why do you say that? Are they not treating you that well at EWC? Hey, I know the stories. I want her to say it, right? I want her to complain about her job. But then I don't really know, Jen. Like, this is something kind of really new. I mean, I don't mind something new. I'm like, listen, Destiny, anything that I went over with you, what did I do? I just read the presentation, didn't I? And obviously, if you were sitting next to me right now as a trainee, because this is a 101, I switched it up a little bit. If you were a trainee right now and this was your first appointment, meeting somebody like you, watching me, do you think I would expect you to do all the work or do you think you'd be shadowing me for the first appointment? Oh, shadowing you. So what really would you have to say or do? Just watch. Okay. Yeah, exactly. And how long did me and you actually meet? An hour and 15 minutes? Yeah. Wasn't everything pretty easy to understand? And you felt really good about what I did for you, right? She goes, yeah, I really don't trust a lot of people, but because, obviously Janice is a good friend of mine, and you felt you didn't pressure me. I've met people from, the company before, but they didn't seem as, skilled as you or whatever she said. She was, you just, you just explained something so simple and how I followed. And I go, and great. And how much do you think as a trainer they paid me to help you today? She goes, I don't know, $50. I go, that's all I'm worth to you, Destiny. That's all I'm worth to you. And I show her the comp on I screen share because now you got to use your tools. I screen share. She's like, what? And I go, listen, I took it further. How much do you get paid per hour if you count your tips? She goes, like $11, $12. And I go, so that would take you 30 hours, 32 hours at your job to make the same amount I just made in an hour and 15 minutes. If I could teach you how to do that, would you be willing to give me an extra 10 hours a week to help you make an extra 2,000 a month? Yeah, I would quit EWC. Okay. When are but the only thing is you do have to pay for the licensing fee. You do have to be committed to Saturday morning. She goes, and this is something I'll give you guys. This is not part of month end close, but I think it's appropriate. How many of you guys get people that say, I have a job, I can't make it to Saturday? Hey, listen. You already told me enough about your job and that they don't treat you well. So I'm going to use that as ammo, right? Listen, Destiny, they already told you that X, Y, Z, D, E, F, G, that they treat you like this. Honestly, if you had school right now, do you think they would be able to tell you you can't go to school? Now, this is where you can say, you can maneuver anyway. If they say yes, if they say no, it doesn't matter. If she says yes, oh yeah, I could tell them that I have classes. Okay, perfect. That's easy. So why don't you just tell me you have class so that way you can free up Saturday morning. That way I can make sure you can make that tutor to a 4,000 a month and Tuesday night as well. If she says no, they don't really care about me, right? And how much longer do you want to stay at a place that doesn't really care about you, even about your education? Wow, exactly. So if you give me 30 days to train you, I promise you, you do everything right with me, you can quit your job. And she paid for her IBA Friday. She went to orientation today, this morning. She's in Shaq's class, and it's only been 5 days, since I met her. So it's been pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, questions, guys? Shay, anything?
So many nuggets in there on how to recruit a client. And Sheila Bustamante is a phenomenal example. Sheila, you were a client for what, 10, 11 years before you joined Primerica? Is that what it was?
12 years.
12 years. Made 80 grand. Are you kidding me? And getting trades like it's hotcakes. We got to get our clients in, y'all. They make incredible teammates.